Today is Fed Day on The Money Show. I'm Amer Abdullah. Let's go straight to our breaking story. The Federal Reserve Bank decides today whether to increase interest rates or leave them at a record low 0%. Let's go straight to our very own Amer Abdullah, who's there at the Fed meeting in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. Woo! Thank you, Amer Abdullah. I'm here in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, where the Federal Reserve just announced that they're leaving interest rates at a super low 0%. Fed President Janet Yellen emerged from the meeting inside Jackson Hole, right behind me here, to announce, upon seeing her own shadow, interest rates will remain at 0% for 6 more weeks. Woo! Yellen's quoted as saying, "Seeing my shadow today is the clearest sign we need to keep giving large banks more time with 0% borrowing costs." On hand to witness all of these festivities were fellow Federal Reserve members, international press members, and other Fed watchers wearing customary top hats and, of course, tuxedos. Now, before the announcement, I sat down with Fed Vice President William Dudley, who told me, quote, "One of the Federal Reserve's soundest prognosticators for interest rate policy is a direct correlation between Janet Yellen seeing her own shadow today and a need to provide liquidity, unprecedented liquidity for Wall Street." Here's a briefing of that interview. And there you have it. Janet Yellen's announcement today marks a breakaway from former central bank chairman Ben Bernanke, who himself determined interest rates by haruspicy, which is dissecting Angus bull and Kodiak bear entrails. And then, of course, reading them. That's how he figured out interest rate policy. Now, before him, Fed President Alan Greenspan used Mr. Bubble in his heyday. He wrote his Fed speeches in the bathtub for inspiration on interest rates. Too many bubbles? More liquidity for Wall Street! Woo! A little rumor for our viewers from Jackson Hole, by the way. Both Presidents Bernanke and Greenspan have been seen here together at Jackson Hole discussing policy. So, as you can see, President Yellen marks her independence here today by using her quote-unquote shadow strategy. There may be 6 more weeks of cheap money because of Yellen's shadow, but she's definitely not standing in anyone else's. Amer, this all sounds really complicated. Is any of this actually important? Absolutely this is important. How? Can the average American get a loan at 0%, like a mortgage loan or a student loan? Of course not. The Fed helps banks. Banks borrow at 0% and lend to us at 5% for mortgage loans, car loans, student loans. Even better, banks can borrow at 0% and give credit card loans at 20%. This adds up to billions of dollars of bank profits. Woo! This is good for Americans? Of course. How? It's good for any American who owns a bank or stock in a bank. Woo! I gotta call my broker, baby. What's up? There you have it, folks. Thanks for the report, Amer. Great news for Americans, or at least billionaire bank owners. Nothing could go wrong, right? That's our report on the Fed. I'm Amer Abdullah. See you next time on The Money Show. Peace.